I'd like to call the Wednesday, July 5th, 2017 Papillion City Council meeting to order. Mrs. Brown, would you please take the roll?
Florence, Mumgard, Gaines, Glover, Jaworski, Klug, Stube, Ingberg.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. And do we have an affidavit of publication on file?
That's correct.
And a current copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted in the back of the council chambers. We don't have any presentations tonight, so Ms. Myers, City Administrator's report, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple quick things. Just a reminder that we do have the Community Center facility update meetings prior to the next City Council meeting, July 18th. There's a meeting at 5, and then I think another one at 6, right, Lori? Ellie Pointer and Sampson's Construction will be there to present updated information. So we'll send you out a reminder so we can make sure everyone's in attendance, other than those that have let me know already they won't be attending that meeting. Second thing is the planning department has received a number of concerns, as well as Mayor Black and I, relative to the sign regulations and how it applies to the I-80 corridor. And I guess as a result of that, we'd like to convene the Public Facilities Committee meeting, or committee rather, prior to the first council meeting in August. That'd be August 1st. Those council members that are part of that committee are Mr. Ingberg, Mr. Glover, Ms. Klug, and Mr. Stube. So Mark is currently gathering information. We'll provide you with information in advance of that meeting, but would like to at least present their concerns and your ideas relative to that. That's all I have, Mayor Black.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Councilman Gaines. Second by Councilman Glover. I'm going to pull item C5. If there are no others to be pulled, do we have any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote on everything except item C5.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item C5 is Resolution R170132, a resolution to approve a special designated liquor license for Jane Leland Investments, LLC, doing business as Twisted Vine, 7626 Legacy Street, for a street dance event at the First Street Plaza on August 12th from 6 to 10 p.m. Wanted this pulled because want to have a motion to table this until July 18th. The item on here is the special designated liquor, but they also need to pull an event permit, and they want to handle both of those at the same time, and that didn't come in yet. So is there a motion to table Resolution R170132 to July 18th meeting? Motion by Councilman Gaines, second by Councilwoman Klug. Any council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F1. Ordinance 1734, an ordinance to approve a change of zone from agricultural to AG to R3 PUD2 urban family with a PUD2 overlay and mixed use for the property legally described as a tract of land being lots 1, 2, and 3, Henry's Highland Replat 1, a subdivision located in the southeast quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 30, together with that part of the southeast quarter of said southwest quarter of Section 30, and also part of the northeast quarter of said southwest quarter of Section 30, all located in Township 14 North, Range 12 East of the 6 p.m., Sarpy County, Nebraska, generally located on the northwest corner of 126th Street and Highway 370, and the applicant is BHI Development, LLC, North Shore Commercial. Is there a motion to approve Ordinance 1734? Motion by Councilman Stube. Second by Councilman Florence. Any council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F2, Ordinance 1776. An ordinance to annex certain real estate to the city of Papillion, Nebraska, and to provide for an effective date thereof. It's City Park Expansion, Bellino 96, Pink Industrial Park 2, and Pink Industrial Park 2 Replat 1. Is there a motion to approve Ordinance 1776? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Stube. Any council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Ordinance 1777, an ordinance to change the official zoning map of the city of Papillion in accordance with Section 20532 of the Papillion Municipal Code to adopt a zoning map and to apply existing or future zoning regulations, property use regulations, building ordinances, electrical ordinances, plumbing ordinances, and all other regulatory ordinances of the city of Papillion pursuant to Nebraska Revised Statute 16901 and to provide for an effective date. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 1777? Motion by Councilman Gaines, second by Councilman Glover. Any council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. F4, Resolution R170121. This is a public hearing and a vote. A resolution to recommend approval of an application received by Sarpy County from Sanitary and Improvement District number 316 to connect residential lots within a portion of the North Shore Commercial to the baseball stadium outfall sewer and Wood Hollow outfall sewer pursuant to the County Industrial Connection Act. This is a public hearing. I'll open the public hearing. Do we have proponents?
Mark Westergaard, E&A Consulting Group, 10909 Mill Valley Road. Happy to answer any questions that you might have on this.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other proponents? Do we have any opponents? I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion to approve Resolution R170121? Motion by Councilman Stubbe. Second by Councilman Florence. Any council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F5, Resolution R170122, a public hearing and a vote. A resolution to recommend approval of an application received by Sarpy County from Sanitary and Improvement District number 292 to connect residential lots within a portion of North Shore to the baseball stadium outfall sewer pursuant to the County Industrial Sewer Act. Again, a public hearing. I'll open the public hearing. Do we have proponents?
Hello, Pat Hillier, 14710 West Dodge Road, representing the client. Here if there's any questions.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other proponents? Any opponents? I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion to approve Resolution R170122? Motion by Councilman Florence. Second by Councilman Glover. Any council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Thank you. Item F6, Resolution R170124, a resolution to approve the second agreement to the North Shore Subdivision Agreement. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R170124? Motion by Councilman Stubbe. Second by Councilwoman Klug. Any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F7, Resolution R170125, a resolution to approve the sewer and water connection agreement for SID 292 North Shore. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R170125? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Glover. Any proponents? Any opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F8, Resolution R170126. A resolution to approve a final plat for the property legally described as a tract of land being lots 1, 2, and 3, Henry's Highlands Replat 1, a subdivision located in the southeast quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 30, together with that part of said southeast quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 30, and also part of the northeast quarter of said southwest quarter of Section 30, all located in Township 14 North, Range 12 east of the 6 p.m., Sarpy County, Nebraska, generally located on the northwest corner of 126th Street and Highway 370. The applicant is BHI Development LLC, North Shore Commercial. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R170126? Motion by Councilman Glover, second by Councilman Florence. Any proponents? Opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next, item F9, Resolution R170127, a resolution to approve the North Shore Commercial Planned Unit Development PUD Agreement. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R170127? Motion by Councilman Gaines. Second by Councilman Glover. Any proponents? Any opponents? Council discussion, Mr. Stube.
Thank you, Mayor. Mark, you probably knew I was going to ask this question since you probably were sitting in the audience, heard the mayor and I discussing. So, question with regard to the plan unit development. Why plan unit development? I noticed in here private streets. I'm assuming they're going to meet city standards anyway, even though they're considered as private, so which responsibility falls back on the HOA. So can you talk a little bit about the reasons why?
Sure. Mark Westergaard with the ENA Consulting Group. It has to do with the setbacks that are required, and so it was advantageous for these villa lots, since they're common maintenance, to not have they didn't need as big a yard for maintenance purposes. They'll have a common maintenance agreement, and so by reducing the setbacks in the front and back, it just made it more compact, manageable subdivision. Regarding the streets, they are private streets. They are built to the city's public standards. I think we talked about this before, but I think Mr. Torzon's intent is to have a very private community and potentially gate the community also with security.
So when you talk about gated community, how do you handle safety, whether it's fire department or police department responding to residents out there?
I believe that it'll be a fob type entrance or a pass type entrance, and the fire department and the police department would have those accessibilities.
Thank you. Any other council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F10, Resolution R17-0128, a resolution to approve the North Shore Commercial Subdivision Agreement. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R17-0128? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Stube. Any proponents? Any opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F11, Resolution R17-0129, a resolution to approve the sewer and water connection agreement for SID 316 North Shore Commercial. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R17-0129? Motion by Councilman Stube, second by Councilman Florence. Proponents? Any opponents? Any council discussion?
Six yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F12. Resolution R17-0130, a resolution to accept a conveyance of real estate known as the Prairie Queen Recreation Area from the Papillion, Missouri Natural Resource District, NRD, by warranty deed. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R17-0130? Motion by Councilman Stube, second by Councilwoman Klug. Do we have any proponents? Any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is committee reports, and I don't believe any have met in the last couple of weeks. Do we have any comments from the floor? Seeing none. Any council comments? Mr. Gaines.
I just wanted to publicly commend City Administrator Myers for the great work that she done and the leadership that she provided during all these storms. Being personally affected by them, there were dark streets and it was lonely and there's a lot of generators running, so just knowing that the city staff was out there, you know, helping the residents out, opening up the dump and things like that. Citizens have came back to us, or to me at least, and thanked us for that, so I'm going to pass it on to you guys. Thank you very much. So.
Appreciate that. Any other council comments? Just a couple of updates from the last couple of weeks. Ms. Myers and I have been attending some panel interviews for the Assistant City Administrator position. We put a panel together to do initial interviews, and then we'll be scheduling those who are going on to second round interviews. So I'm hoping, I don't want to have a commit, soon we'll hopefully have a recommendation for Assistant City Administrator. Ms. Myers and I also met with some of the leadership from the Springfield Platteview School District. for some long-range planning, not knowing, Springfield, Platteview, and Papillion La Vista schools have a current boundary agreement where their boundaries are, but we know our natural growth is going to take us way beyond that boundary. And so we just want to make sure we're having good discussions with both school districts so they understand the assumptions we're making on our planning, how we see growth occurring. And so we're at least assured, we can somewhat assure developers that there will be a school solution as buildings get out there. We're not really taking a stance on what school district it has to be, just that the schools understand growth is occurring and where it's at, so there will be schools out there. So we had a good planning discussion with Papillion La Vista, and then we had a really good one with Springfield Platteview as well, and I think they're both working under our assumptions of growth. So we're just going to continue to have good relationships there. Ms. Myers and I and Mr. Thompson, Mr. Lemming met several different times about the detours on Lincoln and that construction and just the detours through the neighborhood and getting to Trinity Emmanuel. And people have been very patient there, and we've got some signage up specifically for Trinity Emmanuel. And then if somebody tends to get lost in the neighborhood, there's now detours on how to get out of there. And once we put those in, unless council's hearing anything, I'd say since we put those signs up, we haven't heard any complaints. So I want to thank you guys for working through that situation. It's not an easy neighborhood to navigate if you're not familiar with it. Also attended, along with a lot of the staff, a luncheon that the Community Foundation put on as a thank you to the city staff for Papillion Days and all the work. So I just want to thank the Community Foundation for that. And Ms. Myers and I also attended a meeting with Sarpy County Economic Development Corporation. They gave some updates on a couple of different projects. A reminder, Thursday at 4 o'clock, there is a ribbon cutting at the Metabolic Research Center that's coming into town. And also, as Mr. Gaines mentioned, just a thanks on the storm events. I specifically wanted to pass on a thanks to the water staff. A lot of departments put in a lot of time, but what I don't think people realize is the water plant was on generator backup for about 4 days during that storm. OPPD does have us as a high priority user to get power restored, but based on the outage, it still took 3 to 4 days to get the power there. And the staff down there, I think, did a heroic effort keeping the plant operating, and I don't think residents noticed anything at all. Never had a risk of not having water, and the pressure was always there. So ran 4 days without power and kept the water plant going. So pass on the thanks to those guys. It was a good test of our backup system and plans. Luckily, we had plans in place, and they worked. Any other council comments? Mr. Stubbe.
Yeah, Mayor, going back to your comments about the school district, you indicated communication with Springfield Platteview. You're indicating communication with Papillion La Vista. Is there communication that's taking place between the two school districts relative to some understanding about the boundaries?
We are encouraging that, and we have even offered that if they want us to facilitate something like that, we'd be happy to. But what we have told both of them is we are openly sharing with each other, and we're sharing the same information. So Papillion La Vista knows what we're sharing with Springfield Platteview. Springfield Platteview knows what we're sharing with Papillion La Vista. We know they each have their own planning cycles when they're doing comprehensive planning, who they use, and we've just offered the exact same information to both. And what we have said is as growth occurs, we just want to make sure it's coordinated and that there's schools in the right spots and we're served. If you want us to be doing more, let us know, but we've kind of taken the lead to keep that communication going, and I think they both have appreciated it. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilman Glover. Second by Councilman Gaines. Please vote.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. We are adjourned.